Hello everyone, my name is Anthem Sirens, and welcome to your state-mandated anime review show number 400. This is a very special episode today because this is a show I always want to talk about. I may have mentioned in a Twitter or maybe in a Discord chat, but now I get to talk about for realsies here on this oh-so-lovely platform known as YouTube.com. The show in question is... The Problem! Dream Eater Merry. We are reviewing Dream Eater Merry. Dream Eater Merry, better known as Yumekui Merry, follows Yumeji Fujiwara, a boy who can read other people's dreams. Yumeji then meets a girl named Merry Nightmare, a person claiming to be from the dream world, a place where dreams are born from, and in the dream world reside creatures called dream demons. Merry explains that she needs to return home back to the dream world as she is stuck in the real world. The lines between dream and reality begin to blur as Yumeji and Merry must find a way to get back to the dream world while fighting dream demons along the way. Go watch the show. It's peak. What's that? You already seen the show? Oh wow, neat. Now I can... Wait, you didn't like the show? Why I oughta... Respect your opinion and not do anything that could damage my reputation along with the reputation of the only 3 fans of this show. So right off the bat, I just want to say I love the visuals in Dream Eater Merry. One thing that stands out are the character designs, starting off with Merry Nightmare. She has an appealing design that is really cool. It's based off a sheep with her white coat and pointy ears for the sheep reference. And we also got the nice details, some closed eye symbols on her hat and shoes, and it really shows that Merry means streaming business. One character called John Doe has this really cool design that makes him all mysterious and condescending, with his red hood and cloak, his mask, and his black overalls. Heck, even his weapon of choice can be intimidating as it is a sword modeled after a guillotine. Another character called Maze Lansborough is a minor character, but he has a really cool design. It's an impish and clowny looking design, and it's honestly a treat to look at. I could gush all day about the other dream demons like Mistletoe and Angie, but man, I think I should just cut to the chase and say that every dream demon's design is so well made. You can even know their personality of how they act and who they are based on their design. It's perfect. I mean, even the dream demons who aren't on screen very often have designs so good that I still remember them by appearance. The human characters are neat as well, especially when they wear their casual clothing. I mean, if I'm being honest, Yumeji's casual clothing is a lot more appealing design-wise compared to his school uniform. I also gotta give some props to the art style and animation. Most of the scenes that are taking place in reality often have some normal, somewhat flat-looking colors and realistic lighting and shading for the scene, as if trying to say, snap back to reality, or at least reality in this show's universe. Oh, there goes gravity. When it goes into the dream world, everything just becomes more vibrant, making everything dreamlike. There's a lot more gradient in the lighting and coloring, giving it all a fantasy feeling. The dream world gets really creative with its art style and colors depending on what goes on in the scene within the dream world dimension. There are a lot of changes in not just art style, but even animation as well. Although in some certain scenes, the dream world art style does cross over into some real world scenes. Like this one scene of Merry walking through a great crowd of people in the first episode. She's the only colored character while everyone else is black and white. I should note that every dream demon has their own designated space in the dream world, kinda like a domain, which is a nice touch. Backgrounds are also really nicely done, both in the dream world and reality. The animation for the most part is really great. Even the fight scenes deserve some praise as they're all nicely animated and stylish. Although in episode 5, the fight between Merry and Angie kinda looks weird as when they're fighting, their bodies kinda become very wobbly, almost like there is too much fluidity as shown in this butchered footage that I messed with the coloring on to avoid YouTube's terrible copyright system. Like, it looks fine in some areas, but other times it gets strange, like, maybe I shouldn't pause there, you know? Also in the later fights in the show, they tend to do a lot of cuts to close-ups as if the animators are trying to make it flashy and cut corners, but nonetheless, the fight scenes are still really nicely done and great to look at. Speaking of close-ups, this show loves close-ups. There is a lot of close-ups and insert shots in the show. Like, characters could be talking about something important, but they cut to something else, usually another character or an object. Some of it's done effectively to enhance the story, especially when they use it to foreshadow and emphasize certain concepts that characters discuss. When done well, it makes for great storytelling, and other times it gives animators an excuse to not draw mouths moving so they can just draw a still image or something else. The soundtrack is absolutely incredible as well. Dream Eater Merry's soundtrack is a huge standout for the anime, as there are several tracks that not only give a lot of moments of desired feelings, but are just incredibly memorable. Like, there's a song that appears in the first episode and the climax of the final fight, and according to the OST, it's literally called Main Theme. And this song makes use of several violin instruments as if to emphasize hope. The fight themes are also really nice as well, along with some tracks that straight up make certain moments tense. Such songs include Izumomo Ya and Critical Moment. Some other great tracks are soft and mysterious dreamlike songs like Merry and Yumeji, Storytelling, and Melancholy. One track that I found interesting is a song called Yoki to Ketsui, or translated is Mysterious Spirit and Determination. This one is a strange one because in like 2/3 of the song, it starts off as a soft, quiet, somewhat suspenseful track with flutes and drone music, but around 2/3 of the way in, it plays some piano keys before going straight into a techno-like beat. In fact, most of the time when this track is played in the show, it's often the last part of the song. Overall, Yumekui Merry's soundtrack has a variety of sounds and vibes with many songs featuring different instruments and borrowing from several genres like ambient, alternative rock, partly orchestral music, and a few other genres that I can't exactly label. And all in all, it just makes for a really great soundtrack. Somewhat keeping in line with soundtrack and music, I'm going to talk about the opening, and I just gotta say, it is awesome. I love this opening. I have barely even skipped the opening every time I watch the show, and I have seen this show a lot. The visuals in the opening are really awesome as well. Some provide some foreshadowing to what is potentially Merry and Yumeji's background and introducing key players in the show. It's incredible. I even know the opening song on guitar, and sadly I lost the guitar tab my guitar teacher wrote for me. Believe me, if I found it, I would play you the opening riff in this video. I know Songster has a tab for it, but it ain't the same way I learned it. Plus, it's also just the first half of the opening song and not the full opening on itself. It would have been nice to have the full opening song, but yeah, that's just not the whole song. The voice cast is great, and both the dub and the sub are really excellent. But to be honest, I honestly prefer the dub. Yumeji Merry's voice actors express more and aren't as soft-spoken in the dub compared to the sub. And it's worth noting that Merry is still aggressive and brash in both the dub and sub. John Doe's English voice actor is very menacing and somber, but his Japanese voice actor, while he does well, it sounds more creepy than it does menacing. To be completely honest with you, the only English voice I do not like in the dub is Yui Konagi's grandfather, who is a doctor. The dub just sounds like an eccentric dad who is trying to do an old man impersonation poorly. And I mean, I've heard middle-aged guys do better old man voices in other anime dubs, so I don't understand what happened here. I guess another English voice I got some of an issue with is this random little kid in episode 7. I say somewhat because it's not terrible, but it's not great. I have no disrespect to the voice actor or any of the voice actors on this show for the matter. In fact, the voice actor for the kid has done some really good roles, but let's just say, I can understand why they cast women to play children in anime. However, as the episode goes on, which is his only appearance, it actually does get better. Besides those minor issues, it doesn't ruin the entirety of the dub for me. It is still an excellent English dub. Everyone else is really well casted and delivers a great performance. And as a matter of fact, here's something fun. I actually met several of the English voice actors for Yumekui Merry at conventions, and every voice actor that I got to meet and speak to remembers their role in the show, except for Vic Mignogna, and he plays a pretty key character in the show. And now it's time to talk about story and characters, starting with our main leads, Merry Nightmare and Yumeji Fujiwara. Merry is cute, but she also has kind of a tough personality to her. She also acts like an alien of some sorts to the real world. I mean, she is after all dream demon, so she obviously doesn't know how the real world works sometimes. She is a really entertaining main lead, and her interactions with the other characters were really cool. But her interactions with Yumeji is kind of the show's bread and butter. We'll elaborate more on her interactions after we talk about Yumeji. Yumeji is a very unique character. He's an outgoing, optimistic kid, and he often tries to help Merry any way he can. He's just an overall do-gooder with an outgoing and positive attitude. And he also acts like he's a big hero of sorts, often coming from his idolization of the fictional in-universe superhero character, Garicho. Yumeji always tries to do something that will help Merry, and even try and do something for the good of his friends. His interactions with Merry, as I mentioned before, are really neat and kind of the show's bread and butter. Sometimes when Merry is being brash or a bit grumpy, Yumeji kind of shrugs it, but depending on the situation, will either try and cheer Merry up or often dismiss her with a sarcastic comment. But most of the time he's a very supportive and always wanting to help her achieve her goals with his optimistic attitude. Another noteworthy character includes Isana Tachibana, Yumeji's childhood friend. She doesn't really do much except be a support for Merry and Yumeji. And granted, she never learns of the dream world or dream demons, yet she does not question why Merry has pointy ears. Well, maybe it's because she's never seen them before, Anthem! Well, here's the thing, my conveniently created straw man. Tachibana has taken a bath with Merry. Twice. And while we're on Tachibana, admittedly she is way more fleshed out in the manga, but not until later on. The show doesn't cover a lot of the manga, but man, it really needs another few seasons in order to do that. Another character I like is Angie Threepiece. She is an angel-like dream demon who wields a sword often associated with the moon. She speaks very formally, and it kind of gives her a royal knight vibe. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but this anime is based on a manga, and it deviates itself from the manga. I mean, it still has the same characters and themes and ideas that end up being a driving force in the anime story, but it introduces original characters as well that serve as a driving force for the season of the show, such as Ryoto Ejima, a teacher who is trying to help his kids achieve their dreams. Hey, for some reason I have a picture of the poster for the movie Twister in my script. I don't know why that's there. We also got Chizuru Kawanami, who I often mistake for Kowanagi, a side character who helps Merry and Yumeji. Kawanami is a quiet girl with a dark past and secret who Tachibana decides to be best buds with. And we also got not one, not two, not three, but 4 original dream demons made for the anime. But the main one we're going to talk about is Mistletoe. Mistletoe, I can't really bring myself to hate this character, even on Anime Planet. Mistletoe is a sadistic and evil dream demon who gets a sick enjoyment out of killing other dream demons. And she also looks evil and menacing, and she kind of looks like one of those characters from Overlord. And in fact, when I showed this anime to one of my friends said that Mistletoe looks like if Salem from RWBY had a daughter. But I digress. Those are just a few notable characters that really stood out to me. Every character is really nice to watch, even if some of them aren't too fleshed out. And now it's story time. I, for one, really like the story, but it does have a few cracks in it. That doesn't mean it's bad, it just means it has a few issues. You should still watch the show regardless. So if you didn't pay attention to the beginning of this video, first of all, shame on you! I am yapping about my favorite anime ever, and you decide not to pay attention to me? That's just rude, man. Second of all, this show is about Yumeji and Merry trying to find a way to get Merry back to the dream world. Along their journey, they come across various dream demons by crossing over into the dream world via a daydream. And you may think this would make Dream Eater Merry a Monster of the Week show, right? Well, sadly it doesn't. It would sound cool on paper, but Dream Eater Merry is not a Monster of the Week show. And if I'm being honest, it is a seinen show in the same manner as Angel Beats or Charlotte. It still does introduce new dream demons, but they are not the focus of the episode like a Monster of the Week format. The first few episodes of the show do feel like Monster of the Week format as a new dream demon gets introduced, but the latter half of the show is more about character and world building. The main villain of the show is Mistletoe, but they also establish a character called Pharaoh's Heracles, who is a big, powerful dream demon who's attracting dream demons to the real world and giving them vessels, which are humans who adopt a dream demon either by their own choice or by force, and sometimes these dream demons can control their vessels' bodies. Heracles is established as a big bad ruler with an evil agenda, but the show instead makes Mistletoe its focus, and some of the few people who watched the show had an issue with this as it felt like filler, and while I can understand their complaints, I disagree. Here's why. In the manga, Pharaoh's Heracles is established as the big bad villain, but his arc doesn't really end until about 60 chapters in. The anime kind of goes up to 19 chapters of the manga before going off to conclude the Mistletoe arc. And in between chapters 19 and 60 of the manga, the main cast are training and fighting dream demons. So honestly, this anime is meant to build up to a season 2 so they can hopefully conclude the Pharaoh's Heracles arc and hopefully adapt the rest of the manga. But alas, it was never meant to be. And that makes me sad and upset. I got another gripe with the story, and it's kind of a minor spoiler, so skip here if you don't want this spoiled. In fact, watch the show before watching this whole review. Once again, skip here if you haven't seen the show. Okay, spoiler time. Episode 5 takes a weird turn as by the end of the episode, Merry is told she can't return dream demons to the dream world and just kills them, which Merry believes, but yet she has shown in previous episodes to send 2 dream demons back. But Anthem, she literally doused herself after Chris Evergreen. Well, here's the thing, my once again conveniently created straw man. The vessels of these dream demons have shown not to have dream loss, which is a syndrome where people lose the will to achieve their goals and just sort of go through the motions in life. Kind of like depression. It gets established in episode 5, and we even see several background characters get dream loss in previous episodes. How it happens is that a dream demon adopts a vessel, and when that dream demon is killed, the vessel gets dream loss. Yumeji even argues with Engi about Merry actually being able to send dream demons back, but he doesn't bring up the fact that the dream demons they vanished from their vessels, those vessels have not gotten dream loss. And he even says that he doesn't have any proof, even though there was literally proof a few episodes ago. I guess what could have fixed this is maybe that Merry becomes afraid she will mess it up, or have Engi mention she will mess up, or she only managed to do it the first few times by luck, or, and this is going to sound dark, have Merry and Yumeji witness a dream demon getting killed by Mistletoe and seeing the host get dream loss. I don't know if this is just me nitpicking, and I feel like they add that plot point in there just to establish tension within the main story and give the characters doubt. Overall, despite its flaws, Yumekui Merry is an excellent show. I kind of want to call it a masterpiece, but you know what? Screw it. It is a masterpiece. What are you going to do about it, huh? Dislike the video? Put me in an anti-tuber cringe compilation? We're going to make a commentary video, huh? But I digress. I just wish more people would have appreciated it and would get more seasons to cover the manga. But alas, fate can be cruel, and I don't mean the anime. Yumekui Merry has its quirks, but it's a really great watch. I love this anime a lot because of its style, characters, and story. I really wish it got another season, or enough seasons to cover the manga. Maybe a reboot would be more viable. Heck, 24 episodes to cover the Pharaoh's Heracles arc, and maybe another 24 to 30 episodes to cover the rest. It is doable, don't get me wrong. The manga is good, but seeing this manga be adapted into an anime that enhances its atmosphere and style really makes it all the more breathtaking in my opinion. Seriously, this is a great looking anime that in my opinion deserved way better. Seriously, please, go watch this show. If you have, great, I love you. And if you dislike it, well, you know, that's fine, you know, but I'm just gonna kind of find out where you live and, you know, maybe observe your routine for a little bit, and you know, when you least expect it, just take a chloroform rag and go up behind you and, oh, hey, it's the feds! This is a really great show I will continue to recommend to every person I meet, and if I'm in an especially schizo mood, every object. Because Yumekui Merry is an absolutely awesome anime, and it's my favorite anime ever. You hear that light? You gotta watch Yumekui Merry. It is incredible. And you too, Cameron, you gotta watch Yumekui Merry. And yeah, you too, Brandon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Dislike if you dislike it. Comment down below what you thought of this video, what you thought of the show. Better be positive thoughts. Or just want to leave a dumb meme in the comments. Anything goes. Be sure to follow me on social media, which is Twitter/X, because that's the only social media I have for this channel. And subscribe for absolutely more inconsistent content. There may not be as much videos by me this year because life's getting a little hard right now. I will not go into detail, but if you subscribe, that makes me feel really good and know that people want to see more content made by me. So, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!